Have you ever walked into a room full of people and still felt completely alone? Not because you did something wrong. Not because you said something offensive. But just because you exist. People smile at others but not at you. Conversations start around you but never with you. Groups form and somehow you are always just outside of them. And the most painful part? You don't even know why. You've been kind. You've been genuine. You've tried to connect. You've tried to fit in. But no matter what you do, that invisible wall stays right where it is. So today we are going to talk about the truth nobody tells you. The real reason it feels like nobody likes you. And why once you understand it you will never see yourself the same way again. Friedrich Nietzsche, one of the most misunderstood philosophers in history, dedicated his life to understanding why certain people are quietly rejected by the world around them. What he discovered was not what most people expect. Stay until the end because the final truth in this video may be the one that changes everything for you. When someone pulls away from you without reason, they are almost never reacting to who you actually are. They are reacting to what you represent. You walk into a room. You are not loud. You are not arrogant. You are not trying to impress anyone. You are just yourself. But something about your presence makes certain people shift in their seats. Makes them cross their arms. Makes them look away. Because without saying a single word, your existence is asking them a question they have been avoiding for years. Why haven't I worked harder? Why did I give up on my dreams? Why am I still the same person I was 5 years ago? And the mind, rather than sitting with that discomfort, takes the easy exit. It says, I just don't like that person. Nietzsche called this ressentiment. It is the deep psychological tendency of frustrated people to turn their inner failures into outer judgments. It is easier to dislike you than to change themselves. Their rejection of you has almost nothing to do with you. It is a mirror of everything they haven't faced about themselves. In a world that is addicted to noise, your quiet confidence is threatening. You don't over-explain yourself. You don't laugh at every joke just to fit in. You don't shrink yourself so others feel bigger around you. You simply exist on your own terms. And to people who depend on external validation to feel worthy, this is unbearable. Because your calmness exposes their anxiety. Your silence exposes their need to perform. Your self-acceptance exposes their self-doubt. So they label you cold, arrogant, boring, difficult, too serious. But here is the truth behind those labels. They are not describing you. They are describing the feelings your presence stirs inside them. They look at you and they feel inadequate. And rather than sitting with that feeling, they project it outward and call it your fault. Your stillness is not a flaw. It is a power that certain people simply cannot handle. When you begin to evolve, when you start reading more, thinking deeper, choosing peace over drama, choosing progress over comfort, some people in your life begin to feel a strange kind of resentment toward you. Not because you have become worse, but because you have become better. The version of you that doubted everything, that version felt safe to them. That version needed them. That version stayed at their level. But this version makes them question their own choices. Makes them wonder why they haven't changed. Makes them feel left behind. And so instead of growing alongside you, they pull away. They go cold. They find small reasons to criticize you. Nietzsche said that the path to becoming your true self is always a lonely one at first. The higher you climb, the fewer people are willing to climb with you. And that is not your failure. That is simply the price of refusing to stay small. The most genuine people often feel the most unseen. Not because they lack value, but because their depth simply does not fit in spaces built for surface living. You want real conversations. You want meaning. You want truth. But most social spaces are not built for that. They are built for performance. For small talk. For fitting in. For laughing at the right things and wanting the right things and being the right kind of person. And when you can't perform, when you refuse to pretend, people mistake your authenticity for coldness. They mistake your depth for arrogance. They mistake your selectiveness for pride. But the truth is, you are not hard to like. You are simply impossible to understand by people who have never once looked honestly at themselves. Every person who has ever quietly walked away from you without explanation gave you a gift. They showed you exactly where you don't belong. Think about every great mind in history. Nietzsche himself, Van Gogh, Tesla, Kafka. All of them were deeply misunderstood during their lifetime. All of them felt that invisible wall. All of them wondered why people pulled away. And all of them kept going anyway. The loneliness you feel right now is not a punishment. It is a compass. It is pointing you away from spaces too small for who you are becoming and toward something far more meaningful. Toward the people who will actually see you. Toward the work that will actually fulfill you. Toward the version of yourself you were always meant to become. For too long you have been asking the wrong question. Why doesn't anyone like me? That question is slowly destroying you. It puts their opinion at the center of your entire identity. It makes their comfort more important than your own truth. Nietzsche would tell you to burn that question and replace it with this one. Do I respect myself enough to stop needing their approval? Because the people who are liked by absolutely everyone are usually remembered by absolutely no one. They agreed with everything. They offended no one. They stood for nothing. The people who changed the world, the ones who truly mattered, they were questioned, doubted, ignored, and rejected until they simply could not be ignored anymore. So why does it feel like nobody likes you? Because you think differently in a world that rewards thinking the same. Because you feel deeply in a world that is afraid to feel at all. Because you are slowly becoming something that the people around you have already given up on becoming themselves. The disconnection you feel is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is a sign that something is right. It is a sign that you are becoming. And the question was never, why doesn't anyone like me? The real question, the only question that matters, is this: will I keep going anyway? Because if the answer is yes, then you are already living with more courage than most people will ever find in their entire lifetime.